Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to VidaneTV. It has been a long time since we've said that here in VidaneTV on the airwaves. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth, coming at you again here once again with another rainout edition of Jennerstown's Thursday Night Thunder. Man, I feel like it's raining everywhere in the country right now. There's a lot of rain going on in Canada as well. Not really sure what's going on with this weather, but at least we are able to get some racing action here in front of your faces here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us all over the Northeast and really all over the North American continent here tonight. We are live on the VidaneTV YouTube page. Be sure to give us a like, a subscribe, and a share. Let your friends and family know that you're watching some of the favorite racing drivers here at Jennerstown Speedway at the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway with 100 laps here on the docket. And we'll take a quick look here at this starting lineup. Got a couple of laps in qualifying to get a couple of times out and see what you can do. And there you can see the seventh place on. Let's bump that back up there and see that the number 10 car of Dale Glessner was able to get the pole, and Jake Grayson on his outside in that number 12 car. Here you see Adam Henry and Nathaniel Valente going to start in row number 2. Row number 3 going to be Brandon Newhouse and Keith Lord. Keith Lord very quick the last time we were here back in May. There's Colby Burkholder and Michael Saller in 7th and 8th. Tim Shanotsky the last time he won the last time we did one of these Thursday Night Thunders here in iRacing. Zane Farrell there rounding out the top 10 rather, easy enough for me to say. Brian Shipp in the 48 car going to roll off P11. Brad Snyder there on his outside in P12. We turn the page and continue on through the field. There you see Jacob Kern and Richard Malib. Sorry, bud, I know I butchered that last name, but he's going to be starting 14th. Jared Adams, Brent Bickerstaff, and Bobby Shipp rounding out the 10 drivers, or the 17 drivers, rather, that are going to do battle for 100 laps here at the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. Gonna be a lot of fun. Been watching these guys practice here for about an hour or so, and it's gonna be fun. We saw these guys in practice. They were a little bit loose, a little bit free as they ran on through, but there you can see we're 2x2 all the way through. The pace truck gonna dip down to the inside, and we are gonna take the first green flag of the night here tonight, and we are racing at the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. Single file relatively quickly, and you can see Dale Glessner. Oh, caution on the speedway already. There you see the number 19 car pointed in the wrong direction. That's going to be Nathaniel Valente, and you can see he gets a little bit of a piece of that outside wall, and that's going to bring out caution flag numero uno here for us tonight. We're going to pull up U-House Racing Designs instant replay and find out exactly what went down. And this is one of those tracks where it's a little bit greasy out there when it's a little bit on the warm side, and especially under the heat of the sun. And you can see that was our second place driver here as we back up the tapes. That is going to be a long way back up through. We pull it up here on that U-House. So you can see not really any contacts up until the end, and a little bit of a lazy contact kind of in the inside of the wall. Nobody else involved in this one, so definitely good news for the 19 crew. And one of the things to keep in mind, you can see cutting the lawn just a little bit there. Landscapers aren't going to be too happy about that, but I'm sure we'll get that taken care of for sure. You can see Dale Glessner leading as they cross the stripe here for lap number 4. So once again, we're live on the VidaneTV YouTube page. Be sure to give us a like, a subscribe, and a follow. Let your friends and family know with a share that you're watching a little bit of iRacing action here tonight. Feel like it's raining all over the country here this evening. It's raining here in southern New England, in Salem, Connecticut, VidaneTV HQ. I feel it was raining at Jennerstown here this past weekend, and another rain out, and unfortunately the entire Facebook page feed just full of racetrack rainouts. So it's unfortunate, really tough to get out to the racetracks when Mother Nature doesn't appear to be a race fan, easy enough for me to say, as it seems. But it's always good to get everybody together here on the iRacing sim and turn a couple of laps. You can see the lights are off in the iRacing pace truck. We're lining them up 2 by 2 all the way through. Once again, Dale Glessner going to be down on the inside. Jake Grayson up on the high side. Adam Henry, Brandon Newhouse, and Keith Lord going to restart in the top 5 as they come out of turn number 4. The safety truck goes down to pit road. Green flag once again here at North Wilkesboro. Glessner able to break away, but look at the calamity in behind. 2-3 wide car up into the outside wall. That's the number 3 YRD car of Newhouse up to the outside and able to hold on. Finally, you can see Zane Farrell gets by and the number 14 car down to the bottom side. Keith Lord up in the mix as well. He's able to get in this single car train. The front 7, 8, 9 cars or so get it all sorted out. But a caution flag flies once again. This time it's going to be the number 21 car of Richard Malib. And we'll see, got bright chrome red rims, good looking race car there for the number 21. We'll take a peek at that U-House Racing Designs instant replay and find out what went down with that number 21 car. And again, it looks like it was right out of turn number 4, a little bit loose, but this time it looks like there might have been just a little bit of contact as we pop this up here on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. And here we go, a little bit of a view from the blimp there. You can see the 3 car get out of shape, and 21 car, I don't know, a little bit of contact between he and the 19. They get it all sorted out. The 4 car comes down just a little bit. Great save there by the 21 car. Didn't hit anything right up there. Give it a little bit of a nudge just to make sure that the wall was indeed real. But you can see grabs the gear and gets going once again. Gonna have to stack up in the back of the pack here. Qualified in the number 14th position, gonna drop back to 17. You can see Bobby Schiff back here in the 04 car as well. No damage on that car. Nathaniel Valenti in the 19 car, still mowing the grass down there. You can see the 43, Jared Adams back here. Jacob Kern, he's up a spot in the number 4 car. Brian Chip, Brad Snyder, a couple of guys trying to get in to that top 10. Brad Snyder, the final driver in that top 10. How about that 89 car? Tim Schnotsky in the 41. He won the last time we did one of these Thursday Night Thunders here in the iRacing world. He's got Zane Farrell, Keith Lord up in front of him. How about Michael Saylor, Colby Burkholder, Adam Henry, and they're all chasing down that 10 car of Dale Glessner, and they're going to stack them up 2 by 2 once again. Lights out on the iRacing pace truck. He's going to dip down to the safety of pit road once again, grab himself a corn dog and a Coke, and he is going to watch some racing here with the rest of us at the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. 10 laps down, 90 to go. 10 car down below, and the new challenger up on the outside, the 62 of Adam Henry. Green flag flies again here in North Wilkesboro. Dale Glessner able to get away once again. You can see there's 2 cars now, single file. Adam Henry right in the tire track, side by side for 3rd. Jake Grayson in the 12 car down on the bottom side. And you can see Colby Burkholder trying to make it work up on the high side in that number 26 car, but not quite able to make the pass. And he's got a couple of hungry drivers in behind him. Keith Lord, Michael Saylor back there side by side. They're trying to get up towards the front. We saw Keith Lord in practice very, very quick here at the North Wilkesboro, and a lot of drivers poking fun at him throughout the evening here tonight, throughout the practice session, because he's so good here. And he just simply said, well, this is my favorite track. Caution flag number 3 flies here. It may very well be for Brent Blickenstaff. We'll take a quick peek here at that instant replay and find out what brought out yellow number 3. Once again, it looks like we have a little bit of turmoil there in turn number 4. We'll take a look again at the U-House Racing Design. There you see the 53 car gets in just a little bit too hot, little bit too high, and there you see the back end of the race car getting away from him. There's contact with the outside wall, a little bit of contact with a couple of other drivers back there as well, able to grab a gear and get rolling, though. But gonna park down on pit road. May very well try to get a quick repair. These drivers do, in fact, have one quick repair available here to them this evening. There you see Nathaniel Valente gonna take that 19 car down pit road. The 21 car was down there on pit road as well. There's Bobby Ship. He's gonna get some damage repaired, as well as that Vicken staff machine right there in front of him. So a couple of drivers coming down pit road early. These drivers do, in fact, have 2 sets of tires down on pit road throughout the evening. Going to add a little bit of strategy into this one towards the end of the race. And we know we got a bunch of people watching here live on VidaneTV. We want to thank you for spending your Thursday night here with us at VidaneTV as well. Let us know in the comments who you're rooting for, where you're watching from, and which driver you think is going to come home with the bragging rights. There you see the lights are out on that iRacing pace truck. We are stacked up 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through, and we're getting ready to go green flag racing once again. Glessner down at the bottom, Henry up top, Bracken, Burkholder, and Saylor the top 5, Keith Lord, Farrell, Uhouse, Janowski, and Snyder the top 10 as they run. There goes that pace truck, grabbing himself a corn dog and a Coke, and we're green flag racing once again at North Wilkesboro. 17 laps in the book, and there you can see Adam Henry gets right into the tire tracks of Dale Glessner this time early. By the time they get into turn number 1, even gave him a little bit of a shot to let him know that he is there on his back bumper. You can see those front 2 cars pulling away just a little bit. The 62 car might have learned a thing or two on those couple of early restarts, and you can see calamity ensuing in behind. Colby Burkholder was able to break away just a little bit, but they are still a hornet's nest in behind. There's the 38 car up on the high side of Michael Saylor. He's sailing it on into the corners here. Jake Grace and Keith Lord there in the mix as well. The black and pink machine of St. Farrell is there. Brandon Newhouse up in the mix as well after falling through the field earlier on with a little bit of an incident. He's down to the bottom side of the racetrack digging, trying to get back up into the top 5. Tim Shanotsky, Brad Snyder, currently the top 10 as they run. Jacob Kernan, the 4 car there. Great view of that car. That incident up in front, car into the outside wall. That's going to be the 89 of Brad Snyder, and that's going to bring out caution flag number 4 here this evening. And we are going to back the tapes up and take a peek at that on the Uhouse Racing Designs instant replay and find out exactly what went down there. And man, oh man, it's been a fantastic action-packed race here so far this evening. You can see the 89 car getting a little bit out of shape there, gets up into the outside wall, gives it just a little bit of a tap, floats it out in there, gets into the back bumper of the 41 just a little bit too hot, nudges him up out of the way. It looks like they were able to get it to save. The 41 comes by, looks like he's waving at him with a finger or two. We'll have to ask Bubbles on the in the flag stand if you heard any yelling from the 41 car, but it looks like they were able to get it to sort out. Everybody is all good, and we come back to the live shot. They're going to come back around and rejoin the field. So a tough break for those drivers. They do have some time, though, to come back down pit road and maybe get a little bit of that damage repaired, and they do have 2 sets of tires down on pit road as well. We've pardon me, we talked to a couple of these drivers. We made mention we do have that one quick reset, one quick repair that these drivers are able to utilize throughout the race. A lot of drivers trying to hold on to that for the final couple of laps in this one, because we've had numerous short track races where it's come down to a green-white checkered attempt. And speaking of which, we will in fact be having 2, count them, 2 attempts at a green-white checkered here tonight if we do in fact need them. And we've seen some action-packed racing so far here tonight from the North Wilkesboro Speedway, the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. Very cool that iRacing was able to add this track into the service, and very cool to see NASCAR and Dale Jr. and company go out and kind of bring this racetrack back to life. Got to see the all-star race there for the NASCAR Cup Series, so neat little deal with this racetrack, and hopefully this kind of shows us that we want to see more racetracks come back to life as well. They're all lined up 2 by 2. The pace lights are off on that safety truck. He's going to be going down the safety of pit road. We're going to take that green flag once again, and we're going to cross the stripe for lap number 24. These guys have figured out these restarts up front. Dale Glessner down the bottom side, the 62 of Henry. Going to tuck into the tire tracks and hook up a chain to the back bumper of that number 10 car. And you can see the 38 of Mike Saylor. He's up 5 spots from where he qualified. A little bit loose, and that 38 car drifts up the track just a bit. Going to open the door for Burkholder right there in behind him. He's got Keith Lord moving on up as well. He's back into the top 5 in that 19 car, 3 wide in behind them. How about that? Uhouse, Farrell, and Grayson getting it all sorted out. Uhouse going to move on up into the 6th spot. You can see he is knocking on the back door of the 5th position of the top 5, and they're side by side up in front of him. Little bit of contact, not quite. Uhouse having to get out of the throttle just a little bit. Going to open the door down to the bottom side for Zane Farrell in that 14 car. Going to try and peek the nose down in there. Little bit of room. Big time slide there for the 3 car. Oh, the 19 around Valente. Sends it coming out of turn number 4. Caution flag number 5 here on the night. There you can see the 19 car of Valente getting rolling, grabbing a gear, and heading on down the racetrack once again. But we're going to back that up and take a peek at it here from the YRD blimp here. Well, because we can do that here at VidaneTV, and it's one of those deals. It looks like there may very well be a little bit of something down there in turn number 4, or these cars are just really, really loose during the daytime. Here you can see the 19 car gets in there just a little bit too hot, kind of upsets the weight of the car, gets it spun just a little bit, kind of a quarter turn there, doesn't hit anything, stops shy of the wall, nobody else hits him, so no harm, no foul there for the 19 car of Nathan Valente. And it's going to be a wonder if we're going to be able to see that car climb through the field once again. Got all the way up into the top 10 earlier on after driving through the field and having an earlier incident. Going to come down pit road here along with Bobby Shipp in that 04 car. And you've got to imagine these guys maybe have a little bit of damage they're going to try and repair. They might throw some tires on this one to take a little bit of advantage of that fresh rubber. 2 extra sets of tires down on pit road for these drivers to take in this 100-lapper here at the Virtual North Wilkesboro. And we have 1 quick repair available to each of the drivers as well. So got to hold on to that for later on in the race, and we'll see if any of these drivers are going to need it here early on in this one. Working lap number 29, going to cross the line here for lap number 30 here at the Virtual North Wilkesboro. Lights off on that pace car once again. Same front duo on the front, and we're going to take a look at this one from the blimp just to see how these two get it all sorted out. And you can see Henry with a better restart. This time he's going to go a little bit on the high side, and he's not going to be able to tuck into the tire tracks because they are going 3 wide for second. The 38 car down and around into the grass here on lap 31. We stay green. Heartbreaker for that 83 car, or 38 car rather, of Michael Saylor. Sails it on into the grass. Dale Glessner able to pull away by 2 or 3 car lengths. Now on Henry, and you can see Keith Lord moving himself into the 3rd spot, side by side, almost 3 wide there for the 5th position. Brandon Uhouse, Colby Burkholder, and Zane Farrell doing battle up here. Jake Grayson in the 12 car has a great view of that battle there. You can see Brad Snyder in the 89 car, spun just a little bit earlier, has worked his way back up into the top 10, trying to run down the top 5. Jacob Kern in the 4 car having a great run, big time loose right there, holds on to it coming out of turn number 4, and you can see he's got a hard charging 41 car, Tim Shinoski, there in the 10th position. There's Mr. Valente in the 19 car, already back up to P11 after those two incidences earlier on. Brian Shipp in the 48 car. Here you see running in the 4th spot, Richard Mielib in the 21 car back here as well. Jared Adams in the 43, saw him get a little bit banged up earlier on back here in 14th. Bobby Shipp and Michael Saylor, the 15th and 16th place cars. They're all still trying to run down this number 10 car of Dale Glessner. And Glessner had a lot of confidence coming in here tonight. Lots of practice laps, and a big-time fan here of the Virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. And you can see it is showing here 0.6 of a second over Adam Henry in that 2nd position. You can see a little bit further on back is Keith Lord, starting to kind of close back into the 62 car, but a little bit further on back. There's Burkholder in that 26 car. He's got a little bit of breathing room, but man, oh man, these three guys still doing battle for that 5th spot. Zane Farrell holding on to it right now, but he's got Jake Grayson, Brandon Newhouse side by side in his mirror all over his back bumper. Brad Snyder in the 89 car there as well, waiting to pounce on any of these drivers that happen to make a mistake. And you can see really the only side by side battle is the one we have right now for this 5th position. And you can see the 12 car just really sawing on the wheel. Always cool to see the onboard shots here. Caution flag comes out once again. And we'll take a peek, see if we can find which car's pointed in the wrong direction. There you see the 21 car off the pace just a wee bit. So we'll take a peek at that U-House Racing Designs instant replay. It looks like the 21 car going to come down the safety at pit road, get some work done on that car. But we'll take a peek at it and see what happened from that U-House Racing Designs blimp high atop the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. And there you see in the top of your screen, that's going to be the white and yellow number 21 car up high on the racetrack middle groove or so. Kind of loses the back end of the race car, gets a little bit of assistance there from Jared Adams in the 43 car, and parked it down in the grass area, grabbed the gear, was able to get going once again, and it looks like he may have lost a lap there coming down pit road, and may have retired from the race. Handful of drivers coming down pit road now. There's the 62 car of Adam Henry going to come down. Brandon Newhouse going to get some service on that number 3. How about Brian Shipp back down pit road once again in the 48 car. Michael Saylor in the 38 we saw gets kind of pushed down into the grass and didn't quite get a caution to get that sorted all back out. So he's going to get some damage repaired on that car. There you see Jared Adams in the 43, got a piece of the action. This most recent caution, and Bobby Shipp going to get himself some service as well. Still chasing down that 10 car here of Dale Glessner, Keith Lord, now the new second place driver, Colby Burkholder, Zane Farrell, and Jake Grayson going to be the top 5 as they run here on lap number 41. Lights out on top of that pace truck, lining them up 2 by 2 once again. The number 10 car of Dale Glessner leading all the laps here tonight. He's had the quickest qualifying time. He was quickest in practice here as well. Very, very quick here at North Wilkesboro. Dale Glessner going to start on his outside. Colby Burkholder, Zane Farrell, and Jake Grayson, the top 5. Brad Snyder, Nathaniel Valente, Tim Shanowski, Jacob Kern, and Brandon Newhouse, the current top 10 as they run. 15 cars on the lead lap, and it looks like 2 cars no longer in the field. Richard Mielab and Brent Bickerstaff. Green flag flying once again. Beautiful restart for the 10 car of Dale Glessner. You can see he was shot out of a cannon into turn number 1. Already has 6 or 7 car lengths as they shoot down the backstretch out of turn number 2 side by side for that second position. Keith Lord trying to make it work on the high side, almost has Burkholder cleared, but Burkholder able to come on back, drift up the racetrack just a little bit. You can see lost a little momentum there from the back end of the race car. How about Keith Lord powering around the racetrack on the high side, up in the middle groove, trying to make it happen. You can see he gets a great run there off of turn number 2. Not quite enough steam to drop on down. Almost had it there. Didn't quite see the opening. He's going to stay up on the high side. They're going to cross the stripe here for lap number 46. All in the meantime, Dale Glessner has a 3/4 of a second lead, almost a full second lead over these drivers battling side by side for the lead. You can see Glessner holding on to that lead, and Lord holding on to that position up on the high side for the time being. Oh, big slide for the 10 car. He's going to go all the way up to the outside wall. That's going to give the momentum back to Burkholder here in turn number 1, but you can see they are still even, bumper to bumper on the racetrack. Little bit of drafting assistance, if you want to call it that, from Zane Farrell in the 14 in behind them. He knows that these guys are battling side by side. Oh, Burkholder, big slide out of the back end of the race car. That's going to give a little bit of an advantage to Keith Lord. He's going to try and close the door down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Not quite able to do so. Still cannot get down there. Oh, big slide. Burkholder hits the grass. He's going to slide on down the racetrack. Hold on to it. But that's going to give the second position to Keith Lord, and he's going to set his sights now on Dale Glessner, the leader. He has a 1.5 second lead here. 2 laps shy of the halfway marker. Burkholder going to slide on back to the third position. Zane Farrell back there in fourth, and you can see the 12 car of Jake Grayson in the 5th spot, and they are being chased down by another side-by-side battle. Brandon Newhouse in the 3 car down on the bottom. The 41 car of Tim Shanoski back up into the top 10 in the 7th spot. He's going to drift up the high side of the racetrack just a bit. Nathaniel Valenti takes the peak on down low in that 19 car. Great to see him up in the 8th position after a couple of earlier incidences in this one. Jacob Kern there now side by side with Adam Henry, who just came down pit road under that last caution, maybe just a little bit quicker with those fresher tires. You can see the 62 car really hooked up on the bottom side. There's a 38 car, Michael Saylor, sailing it on down there out of turn number 4, gathered it back up, and we stay clean and green. The 89 car having a good recovery there just outside the top 10 in the 11th spot. That's that's Brad Snyder, easy enough for me to say. Bobby and Brian Shipp back here as well, battling it out for 13th and 14th, and Jared Adams in the 43rd car. Well, he's got a great front row seat to the entire field here in the 15th position. They're all chasing down this guy. 1.5, almost 1.6, almost 1.7 seconds up in front of the field here, crossing the stripe for lap number 52. Dale Glessner holds on to it. Keith Lord there in second. Colby Burkholder, easy enough for me to say, there in third. Zane Farrell and Jake Grayson getting it all sorted out. And you can see for the front 7, 8, 9 cars or so, everybody's got it all kind of sorted out, single file here. How about a little onboard shot of our third place driver of Colby Burkholder? We saw a great battle for second place earlier on between he and Keith Lord about 5-10 laps ago, and you can see just how much of a handful these virtual race cars are to get around this North Wilkesboro Speedway. They're all trying to chase down Dale Glessner. You can see that a little bit differing lines between these two drivers. Colby Burkholder a little bit further on down the racetrack than Keith Lord. Keith Lord using that middle to low groove to kind of keep that thing hooked up. And a lot of different ways to get around this racetrack. Some of them quick, some of them a little bit quicker. And you can see that 26 car of Burkholder starting to get a mirror full of that gray and pink U-House Racing Design number 14 car as Zane Farrell gets all over the back bumper of the 26 car. He's going to try and get himself on the podium here at North Wilkesboro. Battle rages on between third and fourth position. Dale Glessner out front by about a second and a half. You can see that second place car of Keith Lord still there in the shot. You can see Colby Burkholder. Oh, second place, Keith Lord up into the outside wall. Gave it just a little bit of a scuff and might have knocked a bit of momentum off of him just a little bit, because you can see the 26 and the 14 able to close that gap by just a little bit. And that's one of those things where the drivers are going to kind of refocus their energies, and when they see the driver up in front of them make a mistake like that, they're going to want to do everything that they possibly can to try and close as much ground before they get their rhythm back. You can see they're doing everything they can to try and close up on the back bumper. A little bit of a wiggle there from Farrell in the 14 car, but he keeps it in the right direction, right up on the back bumper there of Burkholder. He's going to try and take a peek down low. Not quite enough room, has to back out of it just a little bit. They give each other some room, and the 26 car says, you know what, take that spot for now. I'm going to come back and get it from you here in a couple of laps. Zane Farrell now up into third, Burkholder back to fourth, and you can see they are still single file throughout the front handful of cars. Little action back here, mid-pack on back. Caution flag actually going to fly here. Bobby Shipp in the 04 pointed in the wrong direction, and big contact there with the outside wall. A little puff of smoke out of the back of that one, and it looks like it may be Dunsky time for the 04. Might try and get a quick repair onto that machine. But let's